G'day folks, Cortezarino here. I'm in my little space base in Futureland. As promised, I've made a game based on the old Space Invaders. I've called it Space Invasion, just because of copyright. Anyway, let's go check it out. Which way am I looking? Out there? Here we are. So it's a little bit dangerous because there's a lot of dark spots over there. So I think it's only a matter of time before someone's playing this game and they get creeped. So if that happens, guys, don't feel bad. I'm kind of expecting it. There we are. There's my little space base, little flying saucer. And I built the game into this hill here. It was the perfect spot to do it. I had to build it in the hill because there's so much mechanical stuff going on, and because of that piece of water and that piece of water, this was the only spot I could really do it. It's a little bit close to this build. I don't know who did this, but I think people are assuming that because mine is so close that I built that, but no, I didn't build that. Although I did use the same sort of color scheme because it was so close. So I thought, oh, well, mine could maybe from a distance kind of look like a mission control for this. Anyway, let's go give him a play. And I want to show you what happens when I win and when I lose. So I will try and win first, because if I lose first, we could be here for a while. So instructions here is shoot the minecarts before they disappear at the bottom. Avoid their redstone lamp laser beams, because these guys shoot back and you'll get a little bit of warning before a crusher gets you. And works better if you turn auto jump off, which I might do now. I know a lot of people don't like the auto jump and they're not really using it, but I love it. Especially as a YouTuber, I tend to bash the spacebar when I jump, so this is a lot quieter. And you know what? It's about to turn nighttime and I don't want to be halfway through a game with creepers running around, so I might just have a quick nap and we'll start again. Yeah, see, look at that. They're getting ready to get me. Alrighty, here we go. Get my bow at the ready. Let the invasion begin. And it's really hard when you're shooting the minecarts. Ah, here's my point. You can't see the laser beams when you're shooting the minecarts up the top. It's only as we get closer to the bottom. And I've found out, saw that laser beam. I found out that if you put your bow to a full drawback, you will not have time to shoot all the minecarts. So you have to judge it pretty well. Laser beams are nearly getting me. Thought that was a beam. Yep. We're doing well here, I think. And you can't... laser beams! You can't concentrate on the minecarts. You have to concentrate on the laser beams, otherwise you're just not going to see them. Uh-oh, we're getting into trouble now. I'm right in the center of two laser beams here. Made it. Oh no! Ooh, he winged me. You definitely need mending on your bow for this. Oh gosh, I spent so many diamonds on mending books, but we're good. Oh, and we've won! So it'll just take a moment for the game clock to run through. Recognise that? That's the opening rift to Iron Man. That's what happens when you win. I didn't invent that. I have no musical ability whatsoever. I jumped on YouTube for that, and I was just looking for a little do-do-do thing because I don't know how to use note blocks. And I came across this video by Melody Miner. I'll link it in the description below, but yeah, that's where I got the tutorial for the Iron Man riff. Alright, let's show you what happens when you lose. Ow! Yeah, can't see the laser beams. I don't think I'll have to lose intentionally on this one. Oh, winged me. He's coming straight for me. See, I've got the crushers behind me, firing one piston, but bud powering the piston on either side. That's because if you just hang on. If it was just one piston crushing you, it'd just tap you and you can move straight out of it. So this way, if you get hit by one of the bud-powered pistons, you get winged, but you can get out of it. But if you get hit right by the center one, you're stuck there and you lose time. I am going to lose this, and I didn't even have to try. Oop, yep. Yep, here we go. Oh, lava. And these crushers turn off as well when the lava starts. So they're supposed to. Oh, it was just a leftover tick. And then when the game finishes, the lava turns off again. So I will probably have to wait till that stops before I can get into the door, and I'll show you the workings behind it. Oh no, I'll just pearl. I am going to turn my auto jump back on because I'm bashing the spacebar again. So here we are. This is why I had to build it inside a hill. It's pretty large here. And there's more goodies down here. You know, building something like this in the first like week or so of playing in this world, I hadn't done a lot of mining, and yeah, I've never had this situation before, but I was running out of redstone. Like if Lurgan hadn't stepped in and given me like stacks and stacks of blocks of redstone, I could have been in trouble. I was down to 52 bits of dust. So alright, rather than try and explain what everything here does, I think I'll just show you the little add-ons I made, because like I figured this out in creative, like the whole minecarts dropping one level at a time and the refilling and the laser beams. I figured all that out in creative, but then I just started adding little bits and pieces to it, and I think they're the interesting bits to look at. So the first addition I made was actually a problem fix, because when I designed this in creative, I managed how many minecarts were coming down by just having 9 minecarts in each section. That's why they've each got their own little refilling minecart here. The problem I had then was if you shoot the minecart just as it's dropping to the next level, the minecart doesn't necessarily go in the hopper underneath. It could go anywhere. So sometimes it was flicking over into a hopper into the next lane, or it would just get lost completely. So I needed to be able to load each of these sections up with heaps and heaps of minecarts so we wouldn't have any problems. But then I had to figure out a way to only have a certain number of minecarts come out. And this is how I fixed it. So in this dropper I've got 9 shovels, and I've got a 10th one in a hopper leading into it. So each time the game ticks and the minecarts move, this will fire one of the shovels into this chest, and once you get 10 in that chest, it puts a signal strength of I think 6, and then that'll go through and lock any more from coming out. Originally I was just locking the hopper going into these dispensers that had the minecarts in it, but the interesting feature that I didn't know about until I built this, droppers and dispensers get it's kind of like they get bud powered like pistons. If you lock the hopper coming into them, they'll fire one more time and then that's it. They'll stop. So I had to use this way of doing it, and then once it ticks 10 times, I lock the hoppers that lead into them, so it'll dispense one more, so we get 11 minecarts, and then it stops. So the next addition I made was what happens when you lose. So when you lose, the minecart will come all the way to the bottom and hit this cactus, and then it goes into a dropper and gets sent back to be refilled. And whenever that happens, a signal will come through here, and I've got it running off all the way up there. And I finished this a week ago, so this is going to be a little bit difficult for me to remember how everything works. How do I get around there? Okay, let's see if I can remember this. So the signal will hit this dropper and it fires that into this hopper. Now I've got a torch here, so when the game is running, this torch is on, so that will stay in the hopper, that bit of granite. I found a use for granite. I don't really have any other use for granite. The granite will stay in that hopper, and this will stay switched on until the clock that runs the game is finished. And that just sends a signal into this, turns off that torch, and the lava gets dispensed. Then when the game finishes, this torch will turn off, the granite flows back into there, and will send a signal through here, which runs around. Oh, this is driving me nuts. Like I just stopped the game because I saw that I've got this repeater like firing into a pulse shortener, so it just sends like a single pulse through. And then I've got the exact same thing, a dropper sending it into a hopper here. So I've done the same thing twice. I've turned this constant signal into a pulse, and then I've done it into another pulse to turn off the lava. So I took this out because I thought, oh, this is embarrassing. I can't show this on video. I took that out and I just had it firing into the dropper, and the game wouldn't work anymore. And as soon as I put it back, it worked again. So obviously when I built this, I knew something that I don't know now. So yeah, all I can say for certain is that it does something. Alright, so that's what happens when you lose. It'll flick the lava on, and then when the game ends, flick it off again. So then I have to figure out what happens when I win. So if a minecart reaches the bottom and the lava gets flicked on, that signal continues through there, and we'll run around the back. And where is it? It comes down here, and this dropper will fire, and I've got the exact same thing here. So that piece of granite will stay in the hopper because while the game's running, that torch will be on. And basically it makes this piston not extend. It turns that torch off and the piston closes, so this signal can't get through. So basically, if a minecart reaches the bottom, this piston retracts and this signal can't get through. So when the game finishes, which is this thing here, you see it's turned on because the game's finished, a signal will come through. If no minecart has reached the bottom, then it means you've won, and this will continue along to the note blocks. And here's Melody Miner's little thing. Oh, see, can I make a button? Oh, I can't make a button. Can I make what can I make? I want to send a signal through. I'm going to steal a torch from somewhere. Come here. I hope I remember where that goes. Alright. Let's watch him play. Whoop. That's cool. So simple to build too. Alright. And let's put everything back where it's supposed to. So I think I'm actually getting better at redstone, although I've pretty much done every feature with just the dropper into the hopper with a torch holding that object in there while the game's running. You can see this part nice and beautifully laid out because this is the bit I figured out on creative, and then all my little add-ons, that's when things start getting pretty messy. But it's basically all my own design, except I've got an etho hopper clock here, and I've got an Exuma Void pulse extender through here. So this is his. It's one wide, and that's what controls my crushing pistons, because I don't want them just pulsing and then it lets you go on them to hold you there for a little bit. What I was thinking though, like Lurgan came over and he played a game, and Coop Dizzle came over and he played a game, and both of them, first thing they asked was to see the redstone. And I realised that's probably the first thing I would ask to do as well. So we're in a theme park, and this is a game, but I wonder if I can make a ride within a game. Just tell me if this is worth it. Should I clean up this whole area so you can see all the mechanics a bit better, and then just put like a little minecart ride, like a little 40-second behind-the-scenes redstone tour, just around here, and like it'll stop at the note blocks and play a tune, and then you keep going. Is that worth doing? I don't know, because we're going to open this theme park up to the fans. I can't remember when. I think it's in August. So, and I just thought, that's another little ride, and it wouldn't be too hard. And I'd kind of like to clean this place up because I am getting lost. All right. I came out the door here the other day and there was a creeper, and that wasn't good. I really don't want to have to fix all this. Okay, I was up all night. Where are the beasties? He's coming to visit. The whole time I was building this, I kept having these guys coming down the mountain. It's always the zombies too. The creepers and the skeletons, I guess I was too far away, but the zombies, they loved me. Alright, I think we're good from beasties. I was playing without the headphones on once, and the wife heard that ghast noise and freaked out. She didn't know what it was. So I'm only allowed to play with my headphones on now. Oh, you want to give me a tear, don't you? Yes, you do. Alright, I'm going to make a little side trip. Get my trusty bow ready. Notch. That's his name. Where are you? There you are. It's a good bow. Good old Notch. Did you give me a tear? Cheapskate. Oh, I put in the entrance to the gold farm. Here it is. So tried to make it a little bit obvious as to where it was going. And we won't head up there now, but the minecart just takes you up to the little minecart entrance to get above the nether. This was my first attempt at pixel art. Little pigman face. I think it worked out alright. I love having feather falling now. Oh, check out my armour. I've got pretty good armour. I've got perfect armour, except I need thorns on that. And I'm going to show you how I got all this good armour, because we are going to go into business. We're going to go into the shopping district and open our own armour, weapons and tools shop. So I don't know what the shop's going to look like yet, but I've been building up some stocks of weapons and stuff. As you can see, I still haven't done anything on the outside of this place. I've actually made it look worse, because I was digging under here and hitting sand and But underneath in the base area, things are looking very different. This modern theme, house sort of coloured theme that I built up here, I've continued it, but you can't really put a lot of detail into it. So I've tried to put the detail in the floor and in the ceiling just to make things a bit more interesting. I think that looks alright. And we'll come down here. This is the villager trading hall. This is where I'm getting all my enchantments to make the armour for my new shop. So I've got a bit of a start here, like the perfect helmet. Protection 4, Aqua Affinity, Respiration 3, Unbreaking 3 and Mending. I've got a brilliant mending guy. I've got 2 mending guys, and I've taken them to a secret location, not because I care that anyone's going to come in here and trade with them, but because James has a business selling mending books, and if people know that they can just come here and trade with my guys, then it'll basically put him out of business, and I don't want to do that. And I'm not going to sell mending books of my own either. And Motbot has a bookshop, so I'm going to just sell the weapons and armour. So I've got Depth Strider boots here, Feather Falling boots, brilliant sword, perfect bow, and this one's a fly bow. It's just got the punch too. So I'll probably sell that for, I don't know, maybe 64 coal blocks, and then some of the other good stuff maybe. Well, James is selling his mending books for 32. 32 diamonds. Maybe I'll go 64 diamonds for one of these. That could be a bit dear. I don't know. It takes a long time. Like, this is about 4 or 5 hours work to get all these together. You know, but I like to have backup armor anyway, so I would have built like most of this anyway, just in case I have a wither fight and I get killed. I want to load up with good armor again and run straight back, so I'll just keep all my backup armor at the shop, and if I sell some, I'll replace it. So, yep, sugarcane farm for the trades, and press that. And down here, once again, putting it in the floor. I haven't done much with this room yet. Got pumpkin farm to trade with my farmers, and there's one line of melons right down the bottom, because I don't really want to be trading melons, but it's just to help unlock the trades of the farmers, so I can keep trading pumpkins with them. And I'm not doing any sort of automatic as soon as the pumpkin grows it gets harvested, because I don't want all the noise, because I'm a YouTuber. I don't want to be filming here and constantly have pistons firing, so I've got this one hooked up to the same signal that my sugarcane farm's hooked up to, which is a chicken on a hopper. So every time he lays an egg, you know, it fires the pistons. There's a problem with this item elevator. So it finishes right there at the floor of my trading hall. And even when I had all my hoppers there and I left a gap, or like I tried a gap, it didn't work, and I tried putting solid blocks there and it didn't work, the items kept flying up here and they'd all be sitting on the floor. So under this carpet, I've just got hoppers everywhere now. So if you're just hanging out in the room here, you'll hear all I don't know if you can hear it from here, but the item elevator will shoot a group of items up and they come flying up in the air, and then they go down into the hoppers again. So anyway, that's about it. I haven't shown you where I'm keeping my mending guys. It's really clever though. It's a redstone-y thing. They're hidden away. Muse is the only one who knows where they are. I showed him where my mending guy was, because there they go. And I showed him where my mending guy was because right on my first couple of days he gave me a pair of elytra wings, and I noticed those elytra wings had mending on them, so he's got access to my mending guys. But anyway, next episode we are going to enter the economy. We're going to build a shop downtown and start selling weapons and armor. I have no idea what to charge for them, but I think those flybows I will sell for coal. So next episode we are doing the shop, and then I think the episode after that we will be heading back to the theme park, because I had 2 ideas for games. One was the Space Invaders, but the other one was Pac-Man. I think I'm going to keep trying to build games based on really old computer games. So I built Space Invaders first because I thought that would be the easier build. I don't think so now, but Pac-Man's going to be difficult too, because I'll have to catch some zombies, and you'll see when we get there. Alright guys, that's it from me. I'm Cortez Reno. See you later.